Hello, welcome to Maverrik Live. I am your host Luke 2, and today I'm joined by Terry Heath.
Nice to be here again, I should say.
Fantastic. So,
Stumbling already.
Today we're talking about returns. There's going to be a lot of returns because September's coming up, so it's a return to school. We've got a return to live events as well, we're talking about. Cinemas have stopped playing Return of the King and started playing actual movies again. Now we're outside of the rest of the word I can't say. So, a lot of returns coming back.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the big return of Maverrik, in a sense, going to across the UK, back on tour?
Back on tour, back on the road. Oh, it feels so long. Was it 18 months plus now? Yeah, looking forward to it. There is a sense that people are getting back towards that. Obviously, I think what we've seen at the moment is people's appetite for leisure activities, you know, the concerts, festivals and things like that has all started coming back. It's a little bit slower going back into the business world, people getting back into in-person events. But yeah, I think by the time we're out of the summer into September, I think there is a growing hunger just to get back to some normality.
I think all that pent-up activity throughout, you know, the lockdown periods where people want to just go out now, I think that's what the test was, having the social events out, seeing how people are responding in a sense, because I think a lot of people are still umming and ahhing about the outside world in a sense. A lot of businesses have said, we're going to continue doing the homeworking. So then to go out to a live event, they'll be a little more apprehensive to do that.
Absolutely. It's common sense really. For any business, you've got the practicality, let's get everybody back in the office, get back to office working. It's another step to say, right, let's start going to in-person events, training, exhibitions, whatever. At least in the office, you're with the bunch of people you see every day. It's the same group of people. It's limited. Your risks are limited. Suddenly now you're in a conference hall, let's say, with a few thousand people, and it's a very different case.
Are you still got, with venues are still practicing the social distancing thing and the precautions to make sure that everyone's safe, secure, and just, I think it's more of a feeling at ease measure currently with the getting mentally over the fact that you're going to see more people, because now with those social events, I think a lot more people have gone around and think to themselves, you know, there's a lot of people here now. Like, they would never think about it before.
Yeah.
But now it's more like, oh, I'm realising just how crowded this place is now.
That's it. And depending how venues set it up and how widespread things are, you know, people can get really apprehensive about that stuff very, very quickly. Because it is a concern. It's on everybody's mind still. So staying socially distanced, the whole hand gel, I mean, we must have been through gallons of that stuff in the last year.
Yeah.
But that's still on everyone's mind. So people want to stay safe. Nobody's being foolish about this stuff. And so that's still the reservations that exist about being in larger settings at the moment.
So going from it, Maverrik itself, we created those online courses to make up for the fact that we couldn't be, on the tour doing those training deliveries. We're going to still do those. On the free events every Tuesday, 7 o'clock UK time. Come along to those, or about content, social selling. But taking that then and turning it into a physical event, you can see the difference, I'd say, in the training.
Oh, absolutely. I think rolling the clock back 18 months when we were still doing the in-person events, it's a totally different dynamic in the way that we do it, in the way it's presented. Obviously, it's far more interactive with individuals in the room. And what can be achieved with a group of people in a room rather than what you can do virtually over Zoom and Meet and all the rest of it. It's totally different. The dynamic works so much better when people are there in the room. There's more of an energy about it as well. And I think that draws more out of us as trainers and also enables them to absorb more of it.
People are more switched on, because I feel when we do our training sessions, it's online. We've seen it on YouTube. Hello, people of YouTube. But you can probably see down the corner of the page, there's a bunch of recommended videos you can watch, which are all part of the algorithm to get you to click on them. With a training course, if you're there in person, you can't just go, oh, there's someone over there really interesting, I'm just going to walk away from this conversation and go and see what they're about.
But it's about that, it's the focus in the room. You arrive in a room, you get your seat, and the trainer comes up and starts it, and you're engaged solely on that thing. I've done it probably like everybody else has done. You do training online, and it's what else is happening in the room. The cup of tea you brought up and the half a packet of biscuits that's on the side that you're dunking away, and phones going, iPads have got stuff.
My dog's barking constantly.
That's it.
At the most important time.
That's it. That Amazon driver had turned up for the 5th time this week. Right in the middle of it. We've got all of that going on, and so there is so much more value in the in-person events, and that's why I'm looking forward to getting back to that now.
Yeah, it's a more personable approach as well, like the one-to-ones and seeing people's problems firsthand. Seeing, this is going to sound really cheesy, seeing the look on their face when something clocks is really nice, because you have that kind of teacher experience of, yes, that's it, fantastic. And you kind of get it a little bit online, but in a sense where it's a big number of people just commenting saying, yes, I get this. It's not the same look.
It's also that organic process of people asking questions without having to click a button to put their hand up on screen to then wait to be introduced on and ask their question. It happens more organically, and you can see other people being engaged in that question that answered something they were thinking, and you've got all of those dynamics going on, which you don't quite get on a video platform.
Yeah, it's also the networking is different as well. I think nowadays we're going to see less handshakes, obviously, but we're still going to see more people out and about going, oh, I recognize you, you did really well, how did you get on? There's a lot more conversations to be had in person.
Definitely. We would always, after all of the events, the event would finish, you're there for a good 45 minutes to an hour after the event, all of that networking, all of those conversations, the amount of business that comes out of those interactions actually after the training, when you deliver something that opens their view on something or opens their world up to other possibilities. Now they want to talk further about how that applies to their company. And that's where business comes from. And again, you can't achieve that online.
It's easier to do, because what you might do instead is make a note, oh, I need to ask this question, or email this company about this question I had.
Yeah.
You might forget that question in like 5 minutes, forget to email. If you're already there, you're already at the door, and you already see the trainer in front of you, you can just ask that question.
Definitely.
And then it'll just be solved, rather than you just come back and you go back to your desk and you're like, okay, right, let's put this into practice. Crap, I forgot to ask that question. And you sat there like, oh no, now I'm going to have to either approach him again, which could be a bit awkward, or, you just get it done right and then, which is what's the beauty about the workshops. It's just
it's a great thing about
actionable,
the workshops.
you just do them.
That's it. We doing things like, the workbooks that we provide in the workshops and other resources available. You can have it as a PDF version, maybe is online.
Yeah.
We all know what we do with the PDF versions. It probably ends up in a folder you never ever go back to ever again. Something in your hand, physical, is a different experience again, and gives you that touch point to go back to, refresh yourself. The notes you wrote during the session are all live and there.
Yeah, I feel like some people will still be apprehensive to go to those online events, but we're not going to stop our own online events and keep them running. But it's going to be interesting to see the different dynamic again, in a sense. So we might try and bring that live event experience to people if we can manage it. But at the same time, it's going to be like a different dynamic between the free events, going to the win call events. I'm just excited to see how the world now is going to adapt to those like business-minded workshop events, rather than just we've got these crowds, we've got these Reading Festival is this weekend, I think.
It's coming up very soon. It's true. Let's hope that people's confidence grows quickly and we get back to I think in general for business it's more beneficial if we do, not only for us obviously running events, but for what people can learn at these type of events. And the information will be retained far quicker and they can put it into practice next day. It's all worth doing. And I'm looking forward to it, getting around all the different locations we'll be at again.
Missing the road trips.
Miss the road trips, even though you get home late on the night from some places, but it's part of the role and it's part of the experience for us as well.
Fantastic. So we're not going to be here on Monday for Maverrik Live, as it is a bank holiday here in the UK. Any plans, Terry?
Oh, depends on the weather, as always with the British bank holiday.
Hopefully we've got some sunshine lined up. So we'll be back on Wednesday for our next show. I'm glad you're all going to glad you'll watch us. Glad you all joined us for Maverrik Live today. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. You'll be notified whenever we go live. And follow us on LinkedIn for all our social selling tips and to get better at selling on LinkedIn. Thanks again, Terry, for coming down.
It's been good.
And thank you all for watching today. Have a great bank holiday weekend and we will see you on Wednesday.